a new timeline that I want to share with all of the stewards. And it's in it's in the previous roadmap, the TEC roadmap file. And it is, I hope, good enough for us to share tonight. If not, I'll put work in progress over it so people can't see the details. Because I need some things validated, like especially these timelines. But if everyone can see it, this is what the new timeline will look like. I've separated it so that there's a whole section for hatchers to know what they need to do. Like, here are the times where you can participate in advice process. Put your tokens to work, the Commons config dashboard parties. I really feel like pulling that out was going to be easier for people in the community to know when they can engage, as well as having all of our working group items here. So I'm going to encourage everyone I'll drop this in our stewards. Okay, cool. So anything jumping out at anyone that seems terrible? These dates are soft targets based on dates I've overheard in calls. So they're definitely not final, but yeah, I think this is, to the best of my understanding, what we're aiming for. Thoughts, comments? Okay, well, if there's no thoughts and comments, I'm going to assume you all think it's amazing because I'm the one that's speaking to me. And
that's what I wanted to say. It's looking good.
Cool. I think looks like we're going to be pretty small today. Probably Griff can't join. I'm not sure about Nate and Chewy. And I think, and of course, Santi can't, which is really too bad because we're going to do something completely new today. So maybe let's start with what we usually do, which is take a few moments to look at the board and check in with yourself in terms of how you think you did compared to what we've estimated we would be able to work on. And I can do that by looking at my own and realizing, oh, a bunch of these things I haven't even closed yet. Probably other people feel the same as I do. And we have up until the end of today, beginning of tomorrow, to close issues or update issues, because everything that is still in progress or in the sprint backlog will be moved back into the product backlog. So we can do our planning tomorrow. Okay, so we're going to do something completely different. Okay, sorry. Actually, I just wanted to check in on our reflections on actions to improve. So in the last sprint retrospective, what bubbled up was us having more participation in the forum at least once a week. I would say we all did a really great job of that. It definitely feels like we did. And then a reminder for the next sprint to label your issues. Okay, so we're going to do something different than we usually do. We usually have these boards somewhere here. Sorry, this is a very, here's. So we usually have these boards here, but today we're not going to do that. Today we're going to do something completely different. So let me try to block that out. Okay, today we're going to do retrospective, but a little different. And it's really going to be focusing on the Commons upgrade. And I'm going to share how this will work. So the tropical island represents reaching the Commons upgrade. So we're in this boat and we're sailing toward this beautiful tropical island to reach the Commons upgrade. The wind, so this section here, is everything helping us achieve that goal. So all the things that we're doing that are pushing us towards reaching this goal. And the sun here are the things that make us feel good and happy. So things that went well this sprint, essentially. But specifically, things that went well, there's two things that went well, right? The things that are moving us forward, that are helping us achieve the goal, and other things that just made us feel good, like feel good about ourselves or our working group. And then the anchor is things that are holding us back. So what's slowing us down? What's slowing you down personally? What's slowing your working group down? Why are things feeling like they're not getting done? Let's drop them in here. And then the reef is what we should be looking out for. What are the impediments to reaching our beautiful desert island? What should we be keeping aware of so that it doesn't crash our ship before we get to this beautiful Commons Island? So the way we're going to do it is everyone just puts your name on a Post-it note. I left these Post-it notes here just so you could see an example, but the idea is going to be for everyone to pick a color, and whatever color you want, you just put your name on that color. Post-it note here. And then what we'll do is I'm going to time 7 minutes. Maybe we want some more time, actually, and just take the time to reflect, on all of them, actually. We're not going to do it one at a time this time. We're going to just do everything. I just want to see okay. Hold on while I delete this. So we're going to do everything. So you can hop around. What's really pushing us forward? What's making us feel good? What's holding us back? And what risks do we have to look out for? So it's definitely a little different than our normal format, but this is our 17th sprint. So for the last 32 weeks, we've done it the same way. And I thought, what a good idea to change it up a little bit and do something different. So first, I just want to say, does anyone have any questions? Because the next step is going to be to set a timer for 7 minutes and then get started.
Kim, this is so cute. I love you.
I love you too. Cool. Yeah, I want us to really, this upgrade is right in front of us. Like, let's keep focused on what we want, and yeah, and that's this. Any thoughts, guys? Okay. All right, I'm setting a timer for 7 minutes. I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and we don't have music. Do we have music?
Chewy just joined.
Okay, change things up, guys. But you missed the intro. But I'm going to do a super fast version of the intro for you because I definitely want you guys to participate in it. So for the last 16 sprints, we've been doing it the same way. This is sprint 17. We're going to do something different. We're going to do this retrospective of, in a different way. You can find us. So the old sprint, the old way we did it is here. And if you go down and to the left, you can find all of us hanging out in here. So the idea is there's a beautiful desert island, and that's our goal. And that's the Commons upgrade. So the tropical island represents a successful Commons upgrade. The wind represents everything that's helping us achieve that goal. So it's literally the sail, the wind beneath our wings, or the wind beneath our sail. The sun is representing everything that makes us happy, that we want to celebrate. What are you really happy about this sprint? It's kind of the what went well idea, right? Like what makes us feel good and wanting to keep going forward in this journey that we're on together. The anchor is things that are holding us back. Like what's preventing us from getting the momentum that we need, or that's getting us to where we're going. And lastly, the reef is like, what can potentially crash our ship so we'll never reach this beautiful island? So the things to look out for, the risks that you see, the things that can take us away from reaching this beautiful island we're trying to get to. So our instructions are excellent. So put your name on one of these Post-it notes and then copy and paste your Post-it notes. Who's Griff? Griff is the wind. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. And then I'm going to basically go silent for 7 minutes and stop sharing my screen. But in the board, please do jump in and add all of the these elements at the same time. We're not doing them one by one. You can sort of let your mind just go free, and as you think of things, add them. Okay, sound good, everyone?
Yes, Sam. I just can't find the drawing in the. Is it in the retrospective board, or is it another one?
Yeah, it is, and I feel like, can I bring you to me? Can I bring people to me? It is in the retrospective board, TEC Retrospective, and I'm going to zoom out and show you that here is where the other sprint retrospectives are, and then this new model that we're using for today is going to be right here. Hey, Durgadas, welcome.
Just look for us moving around here.
Oh, okay. I was in the roadmap. Sorry about that. I'm already loading the retrospective.
Cool. All right, maybe I'll drop this.
Okay,
in the channel. All right, I'm going to set our timer. Durgadas, I just describe it. Happy to describe it one more time if you want.
That's okay.
Okay, cool. It's pretty evident by sort of reading it here. Just these pieces represent something specific, similar to what we usually do in our retrospective. But I'm going to set a timer for 7 minutes and then go quiet.
This is harder than it seems.
Yeah, especially since it's the first time we're doing it, it really changes things a little. We have 1 minute left. I actually think we should spend another 5 to 7 minutes on this. I see I'm active and it looks like other people are still active too. So I'm gonna set another 5 minutes.
Cam, Dorg is asking me to push a little bit forward our, pull it back, the presentation that Anna Marie asked. And I'm probably going to need to step out in like 20 minutes, but it's going to be a 15-minute presentation. So I'll be right back just in case I step off for a little bit.
Okay, gotcha. It's important, yeah, cool. Good luck. All right, if I'm honest, I feel like I could go for another half hour, but with 40 seconds left, if everyone's done, maybe we'll start taking some time out loud. Juan Carlos, how do you feel about reading the things that helped us go forward?
Okay. The cultural build. Omega call yesterday was so nice. Comes down for working group commons need. Decision making. Lots of participation in the forum. The momentum of the Params team. They are building so fast. Many people willing to help. TAM +1+1+1. Flexibility. Mutual coordination. GitHub notifications and seeing work happening in GitHub threads. Mount Manu doing all the Q&A for the CDD. Great community. Nate. Common stack support. Reward system. Christopher joining as a product owner for reward system and Sean willing to bring it to the labs. Grief +4.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that those are them.
Cool.
And Chewy.
Can you also and two?
Chewy also. Yeah, it's this one.
Oh, and Chewy. Can we also do? You want to also do the things that made us feel good, since they're pretty related?
Okay. Participate on the forum. Livy and the soft governance working group. Reaching understanding after talking through a misunderstanding. Education is our son. Using praise sparingly when it was really using praise sparingly when I was really blown away. This is new. Before I was praising for so many things, but it felt more like work than heartfelt gratitude. This balance seems to work better for me. Community culture. Mitch nomination. Praise. The consistency of community members. I would give +1 to this one. Constructive feedback. Collaborative economics. People feeling confident to propose solution. Openness. Play our own rules. The forums are really being used now. So much happening there. This is because it makes our work visible. This is great because it makes our work visible to hatchers and can be on our own Discord as much as we are, and can be on our Discord as much as we are. Seems like cultural foundations are stronger. Mutual support, complexity of what we are attempting at and successfully pulling off. Gratitude and learning opportunities.
Cool, awesome. I'd love to share 1 to 2 minutes, and I'll pass to Chewy. I don't know if you're distracted by the deorg thing. Do you want to share your thoughts about it? Just 1 or 2 minutes about the wind that helped us forward and the sun, the things that make us feel good.
Yes, I agree with both positions in like among the community. However, I do feel that we are being what's the word? We are like repeating patterns in a way, especially around our cultural build. And I mean, this is what keeps most of the community like standing and going forward. Of course, it is like the basis for conflict resolution. However, I do feel that our cultural build should be able to find better like basis for the future, because I mean, I don't want to get ahead because I included some of this in the reef and the anchor, but I do feel that probably as like stewards, we should, and I mean, we are seeking it right now, but I do feel that these like feel good and moving forward emotions should be attached to how things are going to change and adapt after the Commons upgrade. I do feel that there's like a detachment with that, and when we think of everything that made us feel good, like for example, I put the praise, right, because the praise is right, and it has culturally like brought us to a really good place. But after the reward system call today, that perspective is like all changed, and I do agree with you, Tam, with like the weight of the praise, and when praise should be like specifically used for something, and when source credit is going to be able to step in in a way like automate our recognition process a little bit.
Just
Uh,
thank you, Chu.
so I would just say that, yeah. Oh, sorry, I didn't hear
Yeah,
the
sorry.
time.
Yeah, no, the timer goes at 1 minute 30, and then I give you another 30 seconds to hit 2 minutes. But just so that everyone can have a voice in this retrospective, you have to pass it.
I'll pass it to Juanca.
Yeah.
And maybe can I'm it's very good for you have to said all that, and I appreciate hearing it. But maybe can we stay focused on just for this part, and then we'll go to the next part of like the anchors and the risks. But maybe we could stay focused on this part of like the positive things that helped us forward and the things that we can celebrate.
Yeah, I want to mention Griff and all the Common Stack team. That has been like a real win because their support and their energy have been really great. I mean, Griff, I don't know how like he has so much energy, but he's always pushing forward, and sometimes we doubt or we think like, oh, let's take things slowly, but his energy and like always moving forward like also helps to unblock things and to materialize things. And yeah, and also Livia and the soft governance working group, because I feel like that's way in this, and I feel like there is few communities that really value the decisions through the coding or the technology, but also by the human and cultural aspect. I will pass to Manu.
Thanks, Juanca. For me, again, Griff, like he's been very supportive. Helped me out on several things. Chewy as well, on explaining me what the comms working group is planning as we upgrade into the commons. Tam as well, with the coordination onboarding, answering the questions. Nate as well answering the questions. And so just overall, just the community, I reach out and they're super helpful. They like beyond the expectations. Like Nate didn't have to have like super extensive 3 paragraphs on the questions, but it was super thorough. So, and it's the same for other people. So I'm just grateful to be working with everyone. Juanca as well, that I'm doing the session on Graviton, and I'm just lucky to have all you as coworkers. And I'll pass it to Septi.
Oh, this mic every time was worse. I was I didn't catch up with the exercise probably the best. So my ideas were more generalized, not for this sprint. But yeah, what I was saying is like when we have super, like it's awesome, like being able to create economies and yeah, this is like the most awesome thing I think we're doing. But at the same time, we have like just looking at all these posters, you know, we have a really nice community and we support each other, so that's cool. And yeah, I'll pass it to Katie.
Maybe we'll come back to Katie.
It was me.
Uh,
Sorry. No, I'm there. I didn't hear. Sorry. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to say, without naming names, we all know the names. What everybody else has been saying. I just added another sticky: legitimacy of vision, because there's something truly important about the fact that everyone is here because they believe in this. And it feels, when we have the calls, it feels like when you have that gratitude and that positive spirit and that sense of community, I really think that we can do anything. It makes me feel like all of the potential obstacles, I mean, they're totally surmountable. So it's that spirit. The spirit itself is huge. It's so real and tremendous that I put that little sticky right in the middle between wind and sun, because I think that there's something just about, I should just say spirit. So my answer is spirit. I will pass to, oh boy, Livy? Did you go, Livy? Sorry.
No, thank
No.
you. I feel something similar to that, to this, like, the spirit of something that I think is trust that exists between community members, that I think is very, very beautiful, and a trust that was built on consistency. So the consistency in which people show up to different things makes us feel like a sense of belonging, and that things can move forward, and that we can trust on each other, and that we don't want to disappoint each other. So I think that is benefit, like, it radiates into many points. And also I think there is a critical thinking being built because of education. And when critical thinking starts to be like spread out and more embodied, I think it's possible that conflict may arise more, and that situations might feel less comfortable, and that it feels like things are being slowed down. But it's actually just like very positive effects of people taking more leadership and more thoughtful, like, looks into everything that's happening. So yeah, that's for the education. And I'll pass to Tam. Durgadas.
Oh, hi. I just want to say that echoing a lot what you guys are saying, there's a trust, and what I find is there's a balance between real critical thinking and real ability to make fine distinctions, and yet allow a kind of openness where different people can parachute in with their whatever crazy thing they have going on, like me, for example, and you guys somehow make sense of that and make it amazing. And I will, if you don't mind, just share a thing with you that some of you might have seen before. But the reason why this is possible, I have a very specific idea about why this place is awesome. I made a graphic about it, like I do. And so, like, here I think, when I see this right cross-pollination thing, the generative yes and discussions, I feel like I learned that from I know Livy, I think, had a theater background, so there's a yes and thing about that. And I can see different people, even in this call, inside of these interactions and talk about all these things. So Mano is down here in the decision science, and it just goes on, right? So even as I'm, gradually learning from you guys and being influenced by all of you, that for me is the wind. The wind is that openness, and then the criticality, is the thing which keeps us all grounded. So it's extremely beautiful for me. Thank you.
Cool. And oops. Sorry, I think I'm last then. So yeah, I mean, I love these exercises because I always love to hear what makes other people feel good. And some of the things that really resonate with me is the progress we've made on decision making. Like, it still seems like it's fuzzy, but it's not, but it's definitely taking such a good shape that I think I personally have a lot more clarity, and I think we're going to be able, or we are in the process of communicating much more clearly decision making in this space, and it's so crucial to being able to move forward as a community. And I would say also the reward systems really, it seems like, with Christopher, I think that there was something about Christopher in here, the way he's taking it on. And I actually just enjoy going to the SourceCred channel and just seeing things that they're talking about, even though I don't necessarily know the back end of how SourceCred works. Just watching them discuss how to roll up Phrase into SourceCred has given me some insight into the under the hoods of SourceCred, which I think is really cool. So I really enjoyed seeing that too. And I love what everyone's saying about the community. I think, Mano, you kicked us off with that, and I think I couldn't agree more. And in the interest of time, we're going to move on to the anchors that hold us back and the future risks ahead. Mano, would you mind reading them all out for us?
Sure. I'm going to do it from my browser. Okay. Too much bureaucracy, +1. Can praise scale as a reward system? Short-term reward system that can be executed quickly after commons upgrade? Dates for specific goals? Will our organizational structure scale once we have, say, 6,000 members on Discord? Poor communication? My project versus our project? Working group funding plus reward system being confusing, uncertainty about the future, polarizing scenarios, losing sight of objectives, funding models not being done in time, we'll need the community to agree, DAO maintenance work pulling disproportional resources compared to what token engineering projects are using. That's it. Back to you, Tom.
Cool. Actually, I'm just going to add one more. I don't know what I'm going to call it, but it's like the impact. I don't know how to say that. What I want to say here is like, okay, we launched augmented bonding curve and then crickets. So I feel like strategic investors, attracting strategic investors, partnerships, I think will be critical for us to have a really successful commons upgrade launch. There's a whole section here, Anchor held us back. So do you want to read those two, Manu?
Sure. Okay. Trust and community, lack of standardization for onboarding, conversations in private channels can cause confusion to those not in the channel, but also the community does not benefit from transparency. Does not benefit from transparency? Okay. We spend a lot of time together. Lack of planning for working group funding. This would take us months after commons upgrade. Prioritization challenges, new things that pop up and delay planned work. Calls are distracting for work that has to be done sometimes. steady pace. It's not a race. If you want to do things great, do them slowly. And that's it.
Cool. Yeah, and that's it. And we won't have time to go through and sort of voice these specifically. Let me steal some, but I would say if we could just take the next 5 minutes, and for these things that set us back and for the future risks ahead, we could, in fact, we could all take the same color with this one, and we could all take yellow and just write actions that we can improve, but down here underneath the board. I'll give it a title. Actions. Yeah. So I'm going to set a timer for 4 or 5 minutes and just write down some actions based on what surfaced here and what's holding us back and the risks. What actions can we use to like unblock the things that are holding us back or to mitigate the risks?
Can you give me access to that, please?
To the Miro board?
I requested it, but
You got it. Okay. It should work. I'm going to stop sharing the screen. Can you let me know if it doesn't? Oh, sorry. I had to do one more thing. It should work now.
You muted, Tom.
Livia, would you like to read the actions we can take into the next sprint?
Sure. Set target dates for anything critical to Commons upgrade. Not centralize our decisions autonomy on small groups. Use the TEC launch. We need to stop talking about just work. Good things take time. Set a time twice per week to talk about working group funding. Emphasizing second graviton training happening. Protect relationships. Prioritize critical to Commons upgrade. Make a plan for a balance between provision and appropriation. Estimate costs, investor relations, etc. Is there anything in the culture we should abandon? Does it feel like anything's holding us back? If so, how to make these transitions? Discussion balance on autonomy versus collaboration and the timelines, resources they each require. Encouraging stewards to take a T201 course as well as the CAD/CAD tutorial course. Make plans for worst case scenarios. Clarity on work output, expectations, and finances. Have something like this for Gravity. Have an open talk about financial expectations. Basic psychological fallacies. Appeal to authority. Oh my God, it's Griff Green. Overwhelmed by information and systems. Lack of awareness about the legacy. Code base and colonization inherent in our systems. Lack of complexity thinking. Overly systems thinking. Synaphin. Finalize the working group timeline. Make post Commons upgrade plans. What happens on day 0? Sketch out TEC participation partnership narrative.
All right, wow. So I'm gonna take a crack at grouping these and then we have stars to the right and everyone should take 2 stars and vote for the one particular, well, we could see these +1s are adding up. So let's see how we can.
Feel free to ignore my thing. I've got a meeting that I need to go to in 4 minutes.
Okay, if you want to throw 2 stars on a issue, please feel free before you go. Thanks for joining us, Turkidize.
If you mean Zen Hub, I'm sorry.
Oh no, in the Miro board. Oh, I'm not sharing my screen. I apologize. So we're adding stars. We're voting with 2 stars on the one issue that you think we can focus on in the next sprint.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Okay. It's always great how we come up with such great ideas during this, even though we don't have a chance to implement them all in the next sprint. I feel like it's really important for us to really share them with each other. Oops. All right. We have 2 minutes left, so I'd just like to see if anyone hasn't finished their voting yet. All right, cool. Well, we have, I think, a lot of attention to a lot of them, but having an open talk about financial expectations is one. I hope that in the next sprint we have the very first Steward Council, which will address, like, our topic is going to be working group funding, and it's going to be specifically about this. But there's also a lot of consensus around, is there anything in the culture we should abandon? Does it feel like anything is holding us back? If so, how to make this transition? So those have 3 and 4 votes. For that one, I don't know what the action is here. If somebody wants to come up with how to make that into an action, like just if there wants to be a session held on that as a topic, as a session held on that during the next sprint, that could be an action for that.
Yeah, I just wanted to address, sorry. Just wanted to address what Julie shared. I think it's important, and we can have that conversation in next SoftGov.
Cool. So fortunately, what came out of this is the 2, I mean, it actually seems to me like all 3 of these are the same thing. I maybe don't know if twice a week we could talk about funding, but in our roadmap, I am starting to set some goals for having, by the end of the next sprint, at least drafts for every working group. And I hope that we can achieve that. And maybe if we need to do two, I mean, we'll see. And then having final by mid-October, having final, like or at least good versions of our working group funding. So I think we all agree it's a huge priority. It is the top of the hour, and I want to say thanks everyone for joining today, and I'll see you all in the community call.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
See you later.
Thanks, Tim.
Thanks, Tam.
Thanks, Sam.